Good afternoon from a beautiful sunny day here in LA. Welcome back to LAX, everybody. Today we have a really fantastic flight report from Los Angeles over to Zurich on Swissair's brand new premium economy product. This journey starts at the Lufthansa and Swiss first class check-in lane. Now, why first class? We're traveling in premium economy. Well, Swiss and Lufthansa use the first class check-in lane for their Starlance Gold passengers. The treatment of Starlance Gold varies across airlines in the Starlance network. Most airlines treat Starlance Gold members along the lines of business class travelers, but there are exceptions like Singapore Airlines that treat Starlance Gold members like premium economy passengers, and then there's the Lufthansa group that treats you like first class passengers. Now, unlike the other 3,999,999 people that live in LA, I actually really like LAX, and that includes Tom Bradley International Terminal. There's not a single person on this planet who can convince me otherwise. However, coming back to our flight today, Swiss Premium Economy, and for that matter any Lufthansa group airline, does not offer lounge access as a part of the Premium Economy experience. However, due to my Starlance Gold status with United, we'll be checking out the Starlance Business Class Lounge today. Even though you might be excited to get to the lounge, don't be like me and walk up the wrong side of the escalator. As we enter the lounge, keep a couple things in mind. As of May 2021, Starlance Gold members are only allowed to guest in a passenger if they are on the same flight. Previously, this used to not be the case. And as it relates to this lounge in particular, as of my last few recent visits, the lounge reader has been really bad. So try to have a paper boarding pass if possible, or make sure your phone's really bright. Most of the lounge's most redeeming features are the wide variety of seating options, the view from up top, as well as the outdoor deck, which we'll see in a second. I definitely do appreciate that the food options have always been relatively nutritious, with plenty of salad options, fruit, and a couple of meat options. And as you can see here in particular, I'm just eating the bare minimum to be able to enjoy the food on board the most. There's also plenty of shower suites should you choose to need a shower to freshen up while you're in this lounge. Now, coming back to our flight, our gate is 150 today, which is one of the many A380 equipped west-facing gates here at Tom Bradley. And here's a look at our really pretty 777-300ER that would be taking us to Zurich. Now, the boarding procedure for Swiss goes a little something like this. Group 1 is for first class passengers and Han Circle members, Group 2 is for Starlance Gold members and business class passengers, and Group 3 is for premium economy passengers with silver status or below. So in reality, as a premium economy passenger, you really could be boarding in groups 1, 2, or 3 depending on your status with Lufthansa or your Starlance status with Lufthansa or other airlines. As is oftentimes the case, we'll be only using door L2 for boarding today. This is the business class cabin on Swiss's 777s. It spans the entire space between the second and the third doors on the left-hand side of the plane. Directly behind business is 3 rows of premium economy, and as you can see, it's mixed right in with the economy cabin. And while that's not the end of the world, it's definitely an industry standard for them to be separate cabins. Each seat is slightly wider than an economy seat, but not by much, and the legroom is pretty decent, but I would say just about standard for premium economy, nothing special. Unfortunately, no matter where you sit in this cabin, your view will be obstructed by the wing. To unlock the tray table, just slide the lever up, bring the tray table down, and it's one of those half-fold tray tables, so you can unfold it and bring it towards you or close it. It doesn't move that much, but a little bit is better than nothing, and just bring the lever back down to close it. There's also a water bottle holder with water bottles available to us and universal power ports and USB ports. There is also a coat hook in between the seats, and to be honest, I don't know who really uses them because I truly don't. And in terms of bedding, we get a blanket and a pillow that's slightly larger than the one you get in economy and a different color too. We also got these interesting looking paper box amenity kits, which we'll have a further look at, and right below that, towards the back of the armrest, is another USB port.
My name is Stefan Rohr. With me on the flight deck my two first officers, Jonathan Mays and Claudia Coco. We're almost ready, last bits of baggage are being loaded, and once we get going, we'll fly about 10 hours and 15 minutes to Zurich. We all wish you a good flight with us.
All premium economy passengers were also given a sparkling elderberry drink, which was quite good, and we were also handed menus, but we'll have a look at that right before our meal. For now, sit back, relax, and enjoy the signature GE90 engine start.
Sorry?
Good attention please, the US authorities ask for the cooperation of all passengers. You are requested not to congregate in groups in any area of the aircraft cabin, especially around the lavatories during the flight. You also ask on behalf of the US Federal Communication Commission to either set your mobile phone and any wireless transmitting device to flight mode or to switch it off completely prior to takeoff. These devices can be used normally again as soon as we reach our cruising altitude. Thank you. Le gäste an den Zusatzinformationen die US-Behörden sogenannte Fluggäste um ihre Kooperation. Sie werden gebeten, sich nicht in Gruppen in der Flugzeugkabine aufzuhalten, insbesondere vor den Toiletten während dem Flug. Außerdem machen wir Sie im Namen der US-Bundeskommission für Kommunikation darauf aufmerksam, dass Ihre Mobiltelefone sowie andere Geräte Interaktlose Datenübermittlung vor dem Start.
For those curious, we'll be taking off from runway 24 left, the standard north-side westbound departure here at LAX.
Questions or requests, please do not hesitate to contact one of our cabin crew.
As soon as we crossed 10,000 feet, the crew came around with another water bottle for premium economy passengers. Staying hydrated is quite important, so this was important to me. And as I'm looking at the sun setting as we're flying north, all I can think was, man, what if we were behind or ahead of the wing? The view would be much better. And as the sun set further and further in the sky, there was truly only one thing left on my mind at this point. As I was saying before, the premium economy menus were handed out during boarding, but here are the options now, and because my camera work was a little shaky, just in case you can't read it, the main options were a beef tenderloin with brandy and mustard cream sauce, a chipotle chicken stew, and a rigatoni pasta. And there was also a good selection of alcoholic and non-alcoholic beverages available. I went for the beef tenderloin, and the plate looked quite nice. Everything looked quite inviting, and I was definitely ready to dig in, and I was hungry. So let's have a much deeper look at all the items in our meal today. The potatoes were really soft and tasty from the mustard and cream sauce that it was sitting in. Who knew the wonders of a boiled potato? Now, the beef was also really good, and it may seem tough from the way I'm cutting into it, but keep in mind I'm using a fork, and this is an airplane heated beef. As far as premium economy goes, this was incredible and really tasty. And on the note of tasty, no better way to enjoy a meal than watching a James Bond movie. Spectre is not the best of the best, but it's solid and I'll easily fight anybody on that. Next up was cheese, and we're gonna completely skip over the fact that I'm trying to cut into a thick block of cheese with the fork. For dessert, we had a lemon meringue cake, which had the perfect textbook chilled and set texture that I liked, and I was really excited to... Okay, let's try this again. Next up for dessert, we had a lemon meringue cake, and it had the perfect textbook chilled and set temperature and texture that I wanted, and I was really excited to dig into it. Alright, you know what, I give up on the meringue, but at least I can enjoy the cake by itself. Overall, the food was solid, and to be fair, I can't remember the last time I enjoyed every item of a single tray meal. And to top it all off, the crew working both sides of premium economy were really attentive and quick to refills as well. And while I was waiting for my food to digest after my meal, I was enjoying the thunderstorms from outside the window, as you can see here. As I said before, premium economy and economy share the same facilities, and that includes this mirror where you can see my absolutely dreadful reflection. There was also a mid-flight snack setup that consisted of crackers, refreshing beverages, as well as a basket of oranges that I didn't take a video of, and I had no idea what Swiss had in mind of how one was going to practically eat an orange. As this was an eastbound flight in the heart of summer, the nighttime hours were far few and in between, and within a couple hours of it becoming completely dark, it was already daylight. While we're sitting idle and twiddling our thumbs, let's have a nice look at the amenity kit that I had talked about earlier in the flight. The contents of the amenity kit were quite basic but still enough for this flight. There was the typical eye mask as well as those foamy earplugs that expand into your ear when you put them in. In addition to that, we also had the toothpaste and toothbrush, the kind of one-type disposable usage ones. Breakfast time was upon us, and if you're wondering where the menu for breakfast is, there wasn't one, it was just one option. With a main of eggs, sausage, and potatoes along with fruits, a croissant, and yogurt, the meal was pretty fulfilling overall. The eggs were really well cooked, but really not that flavorful. Even the mushrooms on the inside, which are relatively easy to season, also had no flavor, but also keep in mind altitude does reduce your flavor. I'm not exactly sure what they were trying to do to the potatoes, but it was basically mush, but the sausage was at least tasty, and the fruits were really fresh and flavorful. The croissant did come out warm, but by the time I got to it, it had cooled down. As we get towards the end of the flight, I thought I'd take a second to reflect on Swiss's premium economy product as a whole, as it is definitely a newer premium economy product in the market. Let's go over the pros first, the food. The food was overall really good. Obviously that can vary from airport to airport and the way the crew prepares it, but it looked well thought out. The amenity kits. The way I look at it with amenity kits, it had all the things that I needed for this flight length, so that was a good thing for me. As far as the seat amenities goes, they had power ports, multiple USB ports, good storage options, as well as good seat recline, so I thought that feature was really good. As far as the crew is concerned, obviously that can vary from flight to flight, but on my particular flight, they were awesome. As far as the cons go, the seat design was easily at the top. In order to recline the seat, even when you push the recline button, you actually have to put your weight into the seat tremendously for it to budge. Most other seats, you press the recline button and the footrest and the seat will naturally recline with just a little bit of your weight, but most of the times on its own. The other thing is the privacy divider in between the two seats was basically non-existent. I could literally be leaned all the way back in my seat, look to my right, and I could see my seatmate's face completely. The next thing is the lack of cabin privacy. Yes, we were right in the economy cabin, and while that shouldn't be the end of the world, it's nice to have that extra layer of privacy that otherwise is a standard in premium economy across the industry. And the last thing, which is not the biggest deal in the world, is the cabin location. Most of the premium economy cabin, pretty much all the premium economy cabin, is right over the wing, so it just makes it hard to see views, but that's really not the end of the world and just a small thing in the grand scheme of things. That said, we are in Switzerland now, so I'm going to stop talking so we all can enjoy the views on landing into Zurich.